Okay, let's play some damn chess. But first, I'm gonna look at my stats. Had to put my fucking glasses on. Oh, this is a game in the making. Okay, let's see what the next fucking thing is. 17 goddamn messages. Oh, fuck this shit. Let's just play the goddamn game. But first, some entertainment!
So there's a new UFO whistleblower I'm sure you guys have all heard about by now. He's claiming that the U.S. government is in possession of multiple UFOs or flying saucers that are not from
I got some spit young arms. Crisp with a spit effect. With spit.
So there's a new UFO whistleblower stating that the United States government is in possession of multiple crashed UFOs. So his name is David Grush. And he's apparently high up in the intelligence community, with some really top secret security clearances, and for some reason at this time he's come out spilling the beans on everything. So there's something about this that isn't really talked about that
Moose, not that slut from China, Japan, the Orient.
So here's the thing about David Grush. Okay?
You suck my dick.
Have you seen the show, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel? Well, on that TV show, there is a guy who was head of the UAP.
I'm bringing out my whore. I'm bringing out that whore.
Investigative committee on UAPs or UFOs. His name is Dr. Travis Taylor. Now, the thing about Dr. Travis Taylor is he is on the Skinwalker Ranch TV show, and I guess he's kind of a public
Come on, you slut that slut.
The man still holds top secret, high-level
Come on, you slut that slut.
And he's only allowed to say certain things and disclose certain things about what's going on. Now, this information is from Dr. Travis Taylor's own mouth. And one of the behind-the-scenes episodes of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, you have to pay for it. It's not really on TV or anything.
Oh, this is a bunch of slut-ass shit.
He actually worked with David Grush. He's his colleague. They're colleagues. They
Come on, take that fucking...
And they're really good friends in real life.
Take that
fucking... And then he stopped it right there and said,
take that fucking note,
all he can say about the matter. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because here we are
so I can ear your
with Dr. Travis Taylor, one of the main faces investigating the phenomenon at Skinwalker Ranch, confirming David Grush's place in the UFO field.
Come on, you snap that slut.
Dr. Travis Taylor, in my opinion, knows a lot more than he's saying. In my opinion, he knows exactly what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch. There's a lot of talk about alien bases or UFOs underground or interdimensional portals at Skinwalker Ranch. And I actually think there is a UFO that David Grush is talking about under the ground.
Ear your root.
Thousands and thousands of years ago, during what is now called in mainstream academia,
you knew that.
Dryas,
I can at least take your fucking
Bishop.
Dryas
Event.
I didn't say Bishop, I said
Bible
Bishop.
Calls the flood of Noah, and what hundreds of other cultures call a worldwide flood. There was a worldwide flood that took out the world. We know about it from the Bible, but this is actually corroborated through science, and it's called the Younger Dryas event. Okay, so during this event, us Bible believers believe that the Lord God himself destroyed the world because of basically the infestation of fallen angels and UFOs and all this advanced technology on the earth that was actually extremely detrimental to human society because people were enslaved by these things. Now, if you want to look at it on the other side, this is the kingdom of Atlantis, okay? This is Atlantis. This is the Atlantean technology, which, is buried under the ground at Skinwalker Ranch. Okay, so just to make it clear, the Younger Dryas event, or the flood of Noah, or a global flood, took out everything in the world. And while it was doing that, it destroyed countless UFOs, alien bases, fallen angel technology. All this stuff is buried under the ground right now. This is where the government was able to collect these UFO craft, okay? These UAPs, UFOs, these flying saucer discs that they're in possession of, they come from this time, thousands of years ago. Now, the book of Enoch tells us that these fallen angels, okay, you might call them aliens, the world might call them aliens, we know them as fallen angels. And the word angel just means messenger. The book of Enoch talks about them as evil beings that rebelled against the Lord
Come
God
on, take
Yahweh,
this fucking
came
palm
down to
and not
earth
ear
and
your
taught
rook.
humans forbidden technology, sexual things, and all sorts of stuff. Now, fallen angels and aliens are one and the same thing. How do we know that?
God,
well, the Bible talks
damn it.
about it. The Bible talks about how when God created the world, the angels sang for joy because the world was created. That means that these beings were outside of the creation of the world and they watched it be made. So by very definition, they are extraterrestrial beings, okay? So the definition of extraterrestrial is not coming from Earth. So if angels were around to watch the Earth be made and they rejoiced, well, how could they be terrestrial, right? So they're not from Earth. They're extraterrestrials. And me and a lot of other people believe that these angels fly around in craft, okay? We don't believe that there's some ethereal spirit beings that just float around and go through walls.
Yeah, I got to
believe
get
that
to
they are
that
actual
goddamn
flesh and blood beings that fly around in craft. They have high advanced technology, and this technology
I got to get
infested
rid of
the
that
world
goddamn
back
night.
in the Atlantean times, back in the days of
I
Noah.
hate those fucking
Right?
nights.
Now, here's the thing that kind of brings this all together. Jesus Christ himself talked about, somebody asked him, when are you going to come back? When is your second coming? He said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man comes, when the Son of Man returns. I'm paraphrasing, but basically saying, when you see the world become like
Suck
the days
my
of Noah
slut.
were,
You
look out,
suck my
because
dick,
that's
bitch.
when I'm going to return. And I'm going to put a stop to all of this stuff. Now, if the days of Noah were infested with UFOs, fallen angels, alien beings, and this crazy technology that was destroyed during the Younger Dryas event or the flood of Noah, well, are we seeing a return to that during this time? I think we are. And I think this new whistleblower, David Grosh, is key and instrumental in bringing this on. Now, remember what Tucker Carlson said a couple years ago. Check this out.
But apparently, just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. That's a direct quote.
That's right. He said off-world objects not made on Earth, right? He said the U.S. government is in possession of them. So this David Grosh is not only verifying what he said, but he's actually confirming it and he's expanding on it, okay? Now, I have some information here that we're going to get into regarding David Grosh's story in the Vatican, and we're even going to talk about Admiral Byrd's expedition to Antarctica, Operation High Jump. Now, another thing Tucker Carlson said recently, which a lot of people speculate may be why he was kicked off Fox News for saying this. He said this about UFOs were actually injuring and killing U.S. servicemen. So Tucker Carlson said that UFOs land in military installations and the servicemen come up to them, get too close, and they either suffer traumatic brain injuries, or they just die right away, or they just get this crazy, or something else happens to them, right? So these UFOs are very, very harmful
You
to
suck my
humans.
slut,
So
bitch.
apparently there's been hundreds of servicemen, U.S. servicemen, and probably other servicemen around the world that have died because they came in close contact with UFOs. And shortly after that, Tucker was fired, okay? Was this coincidence? I don't think so. Here's a clip of him talking about that. Check this out, too.
And they had all these court cases from families of U.S. servicemen, over 100, who'd been killed by UFOs.
So UFOs have been reported all throughout history for thousands of years. I have videos on this channel that talk about ancient UFO sightings, that talk about UFO sightings in the old times, in Roman times, back in 1800s, 1700s, earlier. UFOs have never not been a thing. They've always been around, right? And if the Bible talks about them as angels, which, like I said before, I believe they are angels. And another thing is, every single time angels appear to somebody in physical form in the Bible, they appear as a human. They look like us, okay? Now, you might be saying, well, what about Ezekiel's wheel and all these things? That isn't physical form, okay? Ezekiel's wheel wasn't something that was physically in front of Ezekiel. Ezekiel was in a altered state of mind, okay? He was having a vision during this, okay? The Lord gave him a vision. So he wasn't seeing something that was flesh and blood directly in front of him like I am. What he was seeing is a vision. into the spirit realm, into a different dimension. So yeah, there's angels that look crazy and have, all these things. Now, when you look specifically at angels who appear physically in our world, 100% of the time they appear as human beings. So what does that mean? That means they look like us, okay? The Bible talks about alien beings. Angels are aliens because they were around to watch the earth be made, right? They rejoiced. So if angels are aliens and they always look like us in the Bible when they appear physically, well, therefore, angels look like humans. So we have alien species that look like humans. And there are good ones that follow Yahweh, that follow God, that, they haven't been corrupted. But there's also bad ones. They're fallen angels. So they're just bad. They look like people, but they're bad. They're evil. And these are the ones, I believe, that the U.S. government is in possession of their technology. Now, did they make a deal with them? Probably. Justin and Westfall talk about in their film Higher Entities, in one of my interviews with them, that Eisenhower met not only with the Greys, which is a different story, but also with the tall white aliens, or the Nordic aliens. The ones that look like Nords. They're tall, they have blonde hair, blue eyes, and they very pale skin. These are the ones that I believe are the actual fallen angels. And the Greys are pretty much like robots. They were designed to be vessels for spirits, right? So that's why when people are being abducted by aliens, they call out the name of Jesus. What happens? It stops right away, instantly. Now, this has been reported time and time again. So how would it make sense? How would it make sense if gray aliens are from a different planet, millions of light years away, somewhere on the other side of the universe?
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
It's like a science experiment to kind of see what's going on. Hey, let's take this person. But they call out the name of Jesus.
Come on, you slut.
They stop. They're scared. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense in that situation,
come on, you
if the name of
fucking
Jesus
slut.
can stop alien abductions and can turn these things away, that means Jesus has dominion over them, right? Jesus is their boss. Jesus is the boss of everything. That's the only thing that makes sense, logically. Now, I digress. Let's go back and talk about this David Grosh fellow a little bit, okay?
Come on, you slut.
So he claims that not only does the government have these UFOs, that they've had them for a long time.
Come on, you
and
snap
that
that
slut
them, from
right?
China, Japan, and
Which
the Orient.
the Orient.
Because
the Vatican is, in my opinion, part of the fallen realm. I believe these fallen angels have been in control of the Vatican for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, since the beginning. Since the Vatican has been a thing, I believe it is a thing for the enemy. I believe that they are working for the other side, for the bad guys, okay? Now, I could be wrong, right? But this guy, David Grush, is basically saying, yes, this is what's happening.
Suck my
This is from Daily Mail. Pentagon whistleblower says Vatican is aware of the existence of non-human intelligences and helped the U.S. retrieve a downed UFO from Italian dictator Mussolini at the end of World War II. That's right.
You suck my dick,
David Grush,
bitch.
36, has spoken out to say the U.S. has run a top-secret UFO retrieval program for decades and claimed that the Vatican was involved. He said the first ever recovery of a spaceship was in Genta, Italy in 1933 and was held by Mussolini's Italian government from 1944
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick. Dick.
Is this true? Who knows?
Suck
right?
my
This is the first
dick,
time
bitch.
I think anybody's hearing about this. But doesn't surprise me. And the thing is, like I said before, hundreds, if not thousands, of these UFOs under the ground, because during the Younger Dryas event, they were all washed away and buried under tens to hundreds of feet.
I'm fixing to get
soil,
myself a whore.
dirt, rocks, mountains, right? Like, look at Skinwalker Ranch, that mesa there. Now imagine a huge wall of water, miles high, washing everything away and bringing with it.
I'm fixing to get myself a
So
whore.
UFOs get
Another
deposited
whore.
underneath the dirt.
I stick my dick in
And
your
then all this
butt
water
and
washes on top
twist.
of it, and what's left is
With that
you got the
whore.
mesa there now, and you got mountain ranges and stuff like that, and underneath that, who knows, right? So let's go on to talk some more about this. Gurish claimed it was partially intact and held at an airbase until the U.S. retrieved it after a tip from Pope Pius. So he's saying that after the collapse of the Italian government after World War II, the Pope contacted the U.S. government and said, hey, we got this UFO, come get it. Like I said, it doesn't surprise me one bit if this is true, which we don't know if it's true because misinformation is the game that they're playing here, right? They like to mix truth with lies. They like to spread disinformation, misinformation, and false
fucking
information.
damn it.
Why? Well, they want people to believe a certain thing. They want people to think a certain way about this. They don't want this story getting ahead of them. They want to be the arbiters of truth. They want to be the ones telling people what these things are, what to believe they are, and what the future holds, all right? Instead of people like me saying, hey, these things are way older than they're saying, and these things are going to bring in the next age, as Jesus was saying, as it was in the days of Noah. These things are going to herald the days of Noah, right? Because the days of Noah, in my opinion, and others, the hallmark of the days of Noah, in my opinion, is Nephilim hybrids, Nephilim beings, giants, UFOs, and high technology.
God
right?
fucking
This is what
damn
I
it.
believe the days of Noah consists of, okay?
Holy
now let's
Ghost.
continue reading here. A Pentagon whistleblower has claimed the Vatican is aware of the existence of non-human intelligences and helped the U.S. retrieve a downed UFO from Italian
Holy
dictator
Ghost.
at the end of the Second World War.
Holy
David Grush,
Ghost.
36, worked
Holy
served
Ghost.
14 years in the Air Force and is a decorated Afghanistan combat officer who worked for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, and the National Reconnaissance Office, NRO.
Holy Ghost.
His role was to act as the NRO's representative when dealing with unidentified
Holy
aerial
Ghost.
phenomena task force. Okay, so that's where him and Dr. Travis Taylor probably knew each other, because Dr. Travis Taylor from Skinwalker Ranch was the head of the UAP task force. And this information just came out. Dr. Travis Taylor was allowed to reveal himself as the head of that, okay? Because whoever's in control of his security clearance said, okay, you can release this information now, and he did. So now we know Dr. Travis Taylor was the head of the UAP task force, and he's colleagues with David Grush. So David Grush was asked in an interview with News Nation if the Catholic Church is aware of non-human existence on Earth. He replied, certainly. Of course. Fallen angels. Angels themselves, they're non-human. Okay, so the very definition of the church, if you believe it for what it is, they obviously believe in this, okay? And David Grush was also asked during this interview why his claims should be believed, and he said, I have credentials, and I was an intelligence officer. I think he still is. I believe he was told and he was chosen to release this information right now during this time because some event is coming. The reason why all this stuff is coming out right now is because something's about to happen, okay? Is it going to be full-on disclosure, or is it going to be something else? Are the beings themselves telling the government, hey, we're about to do something, so you better get ahead of this thing, because as soon as it happens, the whole world's going to talk about it. I believe that disclosure is imminent, okay? That things are about to be revealed to the public that's going to shock people. What's his name? Bigelow from Bigelow Aerospace, okay? The first guy that owns Skinwalker Ranch. He's gone on record saying that, yes, aliens are not only here, but they walk among us. And if the world found out about it, they would go into chaos and everything would shut down. Here's the thing. I believe he is wrong about that, okay? Bigelow doesn't really know what he's talking about in that regard. I know he's a smart man, but he really doesn't know because every religion talks about these beings. They might be called something else, but they're definitely not human, and they are known by everybody, okay? The whole world knows about this, and they've been in our lore for thousands and thousands of years, okay? So, his opinion might be that if the world found out about this, there'd be chaos. Well, there might be some chaos, but nothing's going to collapse because we already know what they are. And the fact is that they are scared of Jesus Christ. What does that tell you? If these aliens come down to Earth and fly all this advanced technology, but are scared of Jesus Christ, the name of Jesus, and they're scared of Christians, well, that right there should be everything you need to know about the situation, because logically, what other thing makes sense other than the fact that Jesus Christ is the Lord of all things? Okay? Why would they be scared of him if he wasn't? Doesn't make sense. So back to this article, he added that UFO sightings in Italy during Mussolini's dictatorship are widely known. Yeah, during World War II, they had the Foo Fighters, right? American pilots reported UFOs the whole time, right? During a lot of these battles, UFOs were seen. Now, there's rumors that they are, those were Nazi technology, the Die Glocke and things like that, which can't really be substantiated. However, I believe that the Nazis also were in possession of these craft and knew how to fly them. Why? Well, because the Nazis were deep and heavy into occult practices. They did blood sacrifice rituals. They traveled the world to find all these sacred objects and use them for their dark occult rituals. Now, we know where that ended up for them, right? Pretty bad. Just goes to show you that they promise you, they as the entities, they promise all this power and this glory, but all it does is turn you crazy and it ruins everything, okay? Like the power that these things hold, that the Nazis got, ended up destroying them, okay? Now, what else does this say? During his interview, he wasn't able to provide evidence to his claims because the documents and data are classified. Yeah, they're classified. That's why Roswell is still classified. If Roswell wasn't legit, why would it still be classified? Think about it. Now, we know what happened in Roswell. If you look at the original news report from that night, it's obvious what happened, okay? That original news report is correct. Now, after that, there's been a lot of whistleblowers. There's been a lot of things around Roswell surrounding those events that corroborate those claims. Roswell is probably the government's first official UFO retrieval, okay? Now, it's extremely nuts that humanity as a whole hasn't been benefiting from this broad research. It could solve propulsion, energy issues, novel material science that can improve people's quality of life. So that's what they're going to say, right? Oh, well, let's make this information public because it can make things better. Better for
Come on, you dick sucker.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, the average person walking down the street isn't going to benefit from this whatsoever. If anything, they're going to be killed because of it. Because there's going to be some crazy war. And guess what? World War III. It's not plausible that the average person walking down the street would benefit any way from this. Who's going to benefit? The elites. The people that are in charge of things. The people who think that they control this stuff. But little do they know, they don't control anything. They're just pawns in the game just like everybody else. Russia also added that the U.S. is in an arms race with Russia and China to understand the extraterrestrial life. In recent comments, he said non-human intelligence have acted with malevolence and even killed some humans. Duh. I think the logical fallacy there is because they're advanced. They're kind. We'll never really understand their full intent. That's because we're not them. We actually do understand their full intent.
You suck my dick, bitch.
These beings are corrupt, and they're against everything that the Bible stands for. They're against everything that Jesus Christ himself said and did. Otherwise, why would they be scared of him? And why would they try and send people away from him? He also made the astonishing claim that the U.S. government would do anything to protect the secret, including killing people itself. Duh. I've heard some really un-American things I don't want to repeat right now, he said. He claims that some of the UFOs that he discovered were as large as football fields. I think even larger than that, to tell you the truth.
You suck my dick.
I think that some of these things that are buried under the ground are miles wide. There's a lot of witnesses that talk about mile-wide UFOs. And I believe they know how to find them underground because, as we've seen on Skinwalker Ranch, they output this 1.6 gigahertz signal that Dr. Travis Taylor has been instrumental in figuring out and trying to bring this information to the public. So whenever there's some sort of phenomenon going on, there's always this 1.6 gigahertz signal happening at the same exact time. I believe this is their calling card. And this is how the U.S. government finds these things
underground,
you
slut-eyed
Antarctica, and all these different places. All you have to do is just fly over an area or drive over an area with this equipment, and when you see that signal, look down. There was a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral, he said it. accusing the U.S. government of lying to the public for decades. So now he's trying to say that he's the good guy. Oh, the government's lying. He's part of this disinformation campaign, okay? Remember Paul Benowitz, okay? Paul Benowitz was the target of a disinformation campaign by the U.S. government to make him believe certain things about aliens and underground bases.
You suck my dick, bitch.
Why? Because that's what they do. They want to steer this whole story. They want to get out ahead of it and tell people what to believe and what not to believe about this thing, because they want people to believe a certain thing about this, and they don't want people to know about the connections to the Atlantean times, to the days of Noah, and to the ancient past. They don't want those connections being made. Why? Because that would reveal exactly who they are, what happened to them, and what will happen to them when they come back during the days of Noah and the return of Jesus Christ. They don't want anybody knowing that, because when Jesus comes, every single knee will bow. All fallen angels, all aliens, everybody. They're in for some trouble, okay? Now, probably heard of Admiral Byrd and Operation High Jump, right? So,
you suck my dick, bitch.
The U.S. government sent Admiral Byrd on a mission to Antarctica, where apparently he encountered a lot of UFOs. Now, what I'm about to read from you is from WikiLeaks. Okay, this is from WikiLeaks. There's a whole article on it, bitch. And there's a little section called Admiral Byrd and UFOs. Byrd flew over a German base in Antarctica during Operation High Jump, and that in retaliation, 4 of his aircrafts were shot down by a German secret weapon, which were UFOs, right? Recovered UFOs, like they're talking about now, recovered by Germany, shot down 4 of Admiral Byrd's aircraft. The planes were lost around 73 degrees south and 23 degrees east, far to the east of the Muley-Hoffman Mountains. The single event
man, you could have eared my
throws
rook.
the whole Operation High Jump exercise into a curious light.
You suck my dick, bitch.
For it somehow changed the whole character of the Byrd expedition. Within 48 hours, Admiral Byrd had given orders which canceled the expedition and made preparations to leave Antarctica. The mission had lasted closer to 8 weeks than to 8 months. No official reason was given for the sudden withdrawal. The claim that many of Byrd's men were lost, killed, and that at least 4 of his aircraft had disappeared in mysterious circumstances involving strange enemy aircraft. So they just vanished. Something happened, these UFOs hit them with something, and they disappeared into a different dimension. All this information was made in a 1948 European periodical called Bristant, which is lost to history at this point, apparently. Claims that the German base was defended by a powerful secret weapon, including flying saucers. As early as the 1950s, rumors began to circulate among German nationalists that the post-war flying saucers were in fact German superweapons that had been under development and tested during the Third Reich. At the time of Germany's surrender in May 1945, this technology was supposedly shipped to safety in the Arctic, South America, and Antarctica. The abundance of UFO sightings was thus attributed to hidden Nazi presence in the remote and inaccessible regions of the world. And by the way, Antarctica is still off limits to this day.
God fucking damn it.
You're not allowed to go there. The only people that are allowed to go there are government people and different governments, okay? Now, there's a story a while back that I heard. A scientist, a researcher, was in Antarctica with a team, and somebody on his team got injured. Severely injured, where they were going to die. Well, they called for a medevac, and the plane picked them up, and instead of flying from point A to point B to the closest hospital, the plane was forced by the government to go around this giant area instead of going straight to the hospital. They had to go around this closed-off area, which was just apparently ice and mountains. So the guy died because the plane couldn't get there in time. The plane couldn't just fly to the hospital. They had to make a detour and fly around this top-secret area. The flying saucer story has been given some credence in UFO circles by something Byrd is claimed to have had said in a newspaper article. The article by Lee Van Atta, who was one of the U.S. reporters on Operation High Jump, appears in March 5th, 1947. It is claimed that Byrd said in this article that in case of a war,
dick, bitch.
the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects. which can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. From pole to pole at incredible speeds. What does that sound like to you? It sounds like this TikTok incident, right? It sounds like what we're seeing today. We're seeing these things. The text, it also says that Admiral Byrd warned today that the United States should adopt measures of protection against possibly an invasion of the country by hostile planes coming from the polar regions. Think about that. Hostile planes coming from the polar regions. The Admiral explained that he was not trying to scare anybody, but the cruel reality is that in a case of a new war, the United States could be attacked by planes flying over both poles. The statement was made as part of an explanation of his polar experience. In an exclusive interview with the Intercontinental News Service talking about the recently completed expedition, Byrd said that the most important result of his observations and discoveries is the potential effect they have in relation to the security of the United States. So whatever he saw down there scared him, because he knew that there's no match for what these things are. The U.S. can't defend against them. There's nothing they can do. They fly with impunity through our skies, through any skies, and there's nothing anybody can do. What they want to do, they do. And he knows if they chose to attack America or any other country, would lose the war immediately, because there is no competition. So I believe this whistleblower, this new whistleblower, is setting the stage for something. Setting the stage for some event. Some disclosure event that's going to confirm all the things that we already know and that we've known for a long time through other whistleblowers and different sources, okay? Now, I want you to remember when these things kick off, when you see these events on the news, when they're shown, when they allow a news crew in with cameras and everything live on TV to show you, hey, this is a UFO, this is a UAP, this is an alien spacecraft, look at it, film it.
Moose slut!
All this stuff. I know I said a lot of things that might be controversial, but it's all documented.
You
and it's
suck
all stuff
my
that people have been
slut, bitch.
talking about for a very long time. So I want to know your opinion. Are we entering the days of Noah? Are we about to see disclosure take place on a large scale that's undeniable?
You
Is it
suck
going to
my
be through the
slut,
government?
bitch.
Is it going to be on some TV show like Skinwalker Ranch? Or is it going to be something else? Will UFOs land in the White House lawn or New York City or LA or everything?
I'm bringing out that
Simultaneously
whore.
Say, hey, we're here. Worship us now, right? Because that's what they're going to do. When they land, they're going to say, you better worship us because we are superior to you. Until you use the name of Jesus. And that proves that they're not superior, that they are inferior because Jesus lives in us. And if they're scared of that, well then, think about it. What does that mean? Right? Okay, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Until next time, God bless you all.
Let me report his goddamn black ass was stolen even if he is white. syrup, spit. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. God, Holy Ghost.
Hey, what's up, dude?
I'm not shit, sitting here chilling, playing some Fortnite, man. What are you about to do, bro?
You said you were playing Fortnite?
Yeah, just chilling out, man. What are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm literally just chilling, writing. It's basically what I'm doing.
Nice. What are you writing? A book, song? What are you writing?
Yeah, I do poems like that sometimes, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even know you played Fortnite.
Oh, yeah, dude. All the time, dude. I actually ended up... What's funny is I used to shit on it, but now I'm, like, completely hooked. Now I see why everybody's fucking into it. That's, like, really fucking good.
Yeah, I used to play Fortnite back in, like 2019? Back in its peak. That was pretty fun.
Dude, it's gotten, like, a million times better since then, dude. They've added so much shit since then.
Yeah, I haven't been into it. I didn't even know you played games like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, 100%.
I thought you were just into that music stuff.
Oh, don't get me wrong, like, I'm definitely into music, but like, when I'm not doing that, I'm usually chilling out, hanging out, playing games, and just relaxing.
That's pretty cool. What have you done today?
Nothing really, man, just hung out mostly, trying to avoid all this shit, considering the fact that I got fucking authoritarian eyes on it, thanks to the trolls.
Oh, shoot.
No,
Yeah,
no.
how's that going? Any more drama? Any more, like, what's happening with all that?
Well, let's see, I found out yesterday that, well, after I got home, I found out that some fucking douchebag was following us and tracking us while we were at tours.
They were following you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's weird.
Like, they were following us, like, somebody was there, we're not sure who it was exactly. One of the trolls was there, I guess, following us and watching everything we were doing while we were there in the courtroom. Or, like, while we were there at the courthouse.
Really? Did he, like, say anything to you?
Nah, he just kind of kept to himself, and I'm just like... And I didn't know that they were doing that until I got home and found out about it, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking creepy, man.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
That's why tomorrow, me and my mom are gonna try to... Board don't exist, so Chip, like, he actually knows a few of the artists that I actually go right up to it. You guys need to fucking do something about this shit.
Wait, what evidence has your mom got? Or I would just say all of you. Mm-hmm.
But in your hearts, revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. It is for this reason that we implore you. Bring it. We want to hear your best argument for God and why you believe it. 27 seasons, zero proof of God. Follow Peter's instruction and call the show, The Atheist Experience, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Central, youtube.com/The Atheist Experience. Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. It is for this reason that we implore you, bring it. We want to hear your best argument for God and why you believe it. 27 seasons, zero proof of God. Follow Peter's instruction and call the show, The Atheist Experience, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Central, youtube.com/The Atheist Experience.
DSP wants to rob you of $10 more because they feel they just deserve to take more of your money.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the UIS. I've got something for you today, goddammit. I prepared a video tonight. It was about an hour and a half long and I've trimmed it down substantially. It's amazing. To the end. Go.
Why is it? And don't sit there and say you didn't do it, because I saw the video that Classic Games Canada put out. Why the fuck would you have Marty's goons come to my house?
Well,
like,
I mean, first of all, I didn't really specify what was supposed to happen with the goons. Just that I wanted their services. Now, have you ever hired goons before?
No, I haven't.
Right? Once you hire the goons have a mind of their own. They just do goon stuff. It's very hard to control them past that point. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's going to take a lot of effort on my part to force Marty. Can you hear me out? I think that what might be kind of driving the bus here for the goons right now, what might upset them a little bit, is you threatened to slit my throat. Right now, what might
Spit. With spit smell.
Them a little bit is
she looked really good with the shirt on with the sleeves rolled up.
You
her arms smell like spit.
threatened to slit my throat and murder my whole family and come after me. If you flash your penis again, I'm going to hire double goon.
But why would...
Has she got Jules Scott's arms? She's got Jules Scott's arms. She's got Jules Scott's arms.
If you flash your penis again, I'm going to hire double goon.
But why would you do that, though?
Hire what?
I'm going to hire double goon.
But why would you do that, though?
She's gonna hire what the fuck?
Whole family
with
and
spit.
come after me. If you flash your penis again, I'm going to hire double goon.
But why would you do that, though?
The first thing I guess that we really have to address
She's
here,
got Jules
you
Scott's
did in
arms.
fact send your penis to what you thought was a 14-year-old girl.
Yes, and I do understand that was wrong and that never should have happened. Just because Lava Girl hired you to do something...
She's got Jules Scott's arms. Has she got Jules Scott's arms?
I do understand that was wrong and that never should have happened. Just because Lava Girl hired you to do something that you knew would mess my life up, like, why couldn't you just, like, hey, sit down and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, sit down and, like, talk to me.
Stupid.
Instead of going, that route. Like, for you, business is business.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
Yes, what I did was wrong.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
I did something stupid, very fucked up that shouldn't have happened.
When you said like your turn cutie, you're referring to.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I get that.
Kiss that whore goodbye.
You
should
like
use that fucking key right here,
I
slut.
get what I did was wrong and it never should have happened.
Well, I understand. Actually, he's getting to what I wanted to ask. But I just really to squash things. I'm somebody who needs to understand something.
I'm fixing to roll you to the Kiwi roll.
And honestly, for me,
so when you said, I'm just curious. When you said your turn, cutie,
I'm fixing
what did you mean?
Put your asshole in the Kiwi fucking roll. Alright, fuck his.
Home! I'll do something.
Yeah, that was a smart move there.
And that's
what I would have done too.
I wasn't thinking when I was doing that. And ultimately, look what happened.
You snuck that
this
slut from China, Japan,
Sorry, you were on the
Orient.
phone for like an hour. You had so many opportunities.
I mean, the Orient.
Right, and that's the thing, though, Marty. That's how I am. I don't always think before I do things, and that is something that I am working
Has
on.
she got Jewish got arms?
You do.
It's Red Crude!
Dude, stop it, dude.
Sorry, Rex.
I'd love to see you try that, motherfucker. I would love to see you try.
Cyrax, I would not threaten Rick Crude right now. He is actually the mecca of manhood. He has that trademarked. I would not threaten Rick Crude. That's not a good idea.
Now, dude.
This is not how you treat the goons.
That's not gonna leave me alone, dude.
Sorry, Rex, I would just ignore the goons so we can get the goons called off. You know.
Yeah, that's not a good way to interact with the goons. Like, if you want me to call off the goons, like, they're not gonna want to call it off.
Honestly, Kate, I want you to call them off right the fuck now and quit this.
Okay.
I admit what I did wrong.
Okay, but we're mediating right now, Cyrax. I'm trying to work with you, bro. I'm trying to work with you.
Kate, I'll tell you right now, okay? I get what I did was wrong, okay? I admit that. I shouldn't have done what I did. I understand that, and I get that. But right now,
okay, now I'm trying to understand, Cyrax. I gotta put this to bed, then I need to intellectualize it. I need to understand.
Now, Kate, my family's lives are in fucking danger.
I'm aware of that, Cyrax. I'm aware of that.
Wait, enough of the understanding stuff, okay? Like, you don't need to understand everything under the sun, okay? I acted upon something that I shouldn't have, okay? I get that. I know I shouldn't have done what I did. Okay, I get that. It was wrong. But right now, you need to call your fucking goons off.
Okay, they're not my goons, Cyrax. They're not my goons, first of all.
Then whose are they?
Second of all, honestly, Marty, now, did you authorize surveillance with the goons? Because I feel like you didn't. Is it possible that maybe these are somebody else's goons?
No, I know this goon.
Okay, I'm just saying. I was paid. I don't know who else is being paid right now. Do you, Cyrax?
Honestly, hey, listen, I'm sorry about what I did, okay? Can we please just put this to fucking rest for good? Because right now, my family's lives in danger.
I'm trying to, Cyrax, but you're not working with me. You keep talking over me. You're not listening to me. I need to feel heard. I work on this every single week with Dr. Susan Hasselhoff, my therapist, okay? Every single week. And something that is important to me is that I am heard.
Right now,
did he literally just walk away from me? Oh, no, he's there. Sorry, you're a little guy. Right
now,
did he literally just walk away from me? Oh no, he's there. Sorry, you're a little guy.
Don't walk away, girl.
Because of these people. This isn't good. This is.
I'll be right there for you.
Cyrax, listen, Cyrax.
Hang on. I just. What'd you say, Marty?
I'm aware that this isn't good.
I'll be right there for you.
And I can see that you're trying to take accountability. And was this the only time it's ever happened?
Yes, it is.
Of course.
There was one other time. There was a time recently, and I know that Kate brought this up, that Chloe chick that I was doing charity work for, me and her ended up together. And then I found out today, and she did not tell me this until fucking today, which I fucking blocked her ass right away. She flat out told me.
Cyrex. She sent screenshots where she said that she had to go to sleep early because she had to get ready for school in the morning.
Yeah, and see, during that time, I thought maybe she meant like night school or something like that. Okay, that's why I thought she was talking about that because, see, when you talk about charity, I usually think like, hey, adults, adults do charity work. Okay, cool. That's awesome, whatever. That's what I was thinking on. I honest to God thought she was an adult. She at no point in time until today.
Why wouldn't you ask? Why, that's a pretty big red flag that you need to, and I'm not even talking about Chloe. I was talking about Lily, the 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lily isn't fucking 12 years old. That Chloe chick is named Lily. That's the chick that I'm talking about. She told me, and you can ask Marty because I know he saw it for himself. She indeed told me today that she was 15, and once she told me she was 15, I flat out told her, I can no longer speak to you, I'm blocking you, and I did indeed block.
Wait, so there's a 15-year-old, so wait, hold on, Cyrex. There's a 17-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 15-year-old, in addition.
Wait, hold on, back up. 17, what do you mean 17?
That's what you said.
No, I thought, like, maybe she was, like, basically I thought that Lily was an adult because by the way she spoke, how she carried herself, how she handled herself was like a regular adult because, most kids don't do charity work the way that, she made it seem like. She made it seem like, oh, I'm a grown adult. This is what I do for a living. I do charity work, yada, yada, yada.
Was she involved in, like, coloring books?
Yes, that same Chloe, that same one. And, she made it seem like she was...
You don't find coloring books in school to be two giant red flags? I mean, you don't ask people's ages or even know how old they are before you send your penis, Cyrex?
Point being, Kate, this stuff needs to end, and right now my family's lives are in fucking danger. I want to put this behind me, starting right the fuck now. I want to end this shit right now, and I understand that you want some understanding, but right now my family's lives hang in the fucking balance, and that's not okay. I get that what I should.
Fucking damn it.
I get that what I did was wrong, and I deserve to be bitched at. I deserve to get grilled for that. I get it. But right now, my family's lives are in fucking danger.
Sorry,
I get what I did was wrong, but I just want to be... All I ask is that you guys please just leave me alone about this and let me live my fucking life, because right now my family's lives are in danger. So please, Kate.
But Cyrex,
no, but...
the goons were not dispatched for your family.
Do what?
The goons were not dispatched for your family.
But they're after me, though, which puts my family's lives in danger.
How? I mean, they can tell the difference between you and your family. I'm sure, Marty, you provided them with pictures. That was the service that we agreed to.
I live here at home with my family. When you put my life in danger, you put their lives in danger. When you put my life I live here at home with my family, Kate. I have to help take care of my fucking family because my mom is elderly. Her boyfriend...
Cyrex, can I ask you a question about that? When you were talking to someone you thought was in Kentucky, you wanted her to pick you up and drive her back to your house for a whole week. If you have to take care of your family, then why would you leave them for a whole week to go sleep at a stranger's house?
Because at that point in time, they were doing okay, and they didn't really...
That was like a few days ago, Cyrex. That was a few days ago.
I even spoke with my family about it. I even spoke with my family about it, and I asked them, will you be okay for a week while I'm gone? And they said,
then they probably don't need you to take care of them. Maybe you should seek employment then, because it sounds like they don't really need you.
Here's the thing, though, Kate. Right now,
this is his job.
Kate, all I know is that right now, I need you to please let this go and let me live my life in fucking peace. Because right now, my family's lives in danger.
Why the fuck this goddamn blind man, you piece of fucking shit? I'm going to fucking take your little fucking ball. I'm gonna fucking butter that ball head of yours. I'm gonna grab that fucking whatever hair's left. and you're gonna be sucking the shit out of me. Talk about niggers, or talk about this, boy, because you're a fake little bitch. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking to you, boy. Shut up, boy. Shut up.
Your wife
fucking little Yankee nigger. That's what you are. That's all you're ever gonna be is a little Yankee nigger. You're below me. You're beneath me, boy. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, boy. This is what I'm gonna do to you. Give me a minute, sir, Mr. Rabbi, and I'm...
Rick, if you
Rick, let me tell you right now, Rick, you go to my house with the intent to kill. I have every right and reason to defend my house, so you show up here ready to fucking shoot and kill, your ass the fucking dead man, boy. You're a dead man, Rick. That ain't no joke. You show up at my fucking house ready to fucking kill. Let's go.
He needs business.
You ain't gonna do shit. This is what I'm gonna do to you, white boy. I'm gonna ass rape you with this. I'm going to ass rape you 24/7. That's what I'm gonna do. You keep fucking bothering these little good Irish girls. I'm going to fucking take your ass, stick that up your ass, stick it up your ass. I'm gonna fist fuck you. I'm gonna fist fuck you until you can recite the Irish fucking alphabet.
Hey, old geezer, go back to the fucking home where you came out of.
You shut the fuck up.
Bitch ass came
Jesus
out of.
Christ, my goddamn arms are bigger than you.
You ain't shit, Rick. You ain't shit.
I am shit, motherfucker. I am the goddamn shit. Look at that. Look at that. What do you got, boy? Nothing. I am the fucking champion. You're not. You're just a fucking wannabe. Alright? This is what a great fucking man looks like. Shut the fuck up.
Nobody cares, old geezer. Nobody fucking cares. Like I told you, old man. You show up at this house ready with the intent to kill, I will put a...
I'm gonna show up at your house, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you, I'm gonna beat your mama for having you, then I'm gonna fuck your daddy in the ass, I'm gonna make him make me a goddamn sandwich. How's that, boy? You ain't gonna do shit? You ain't gonna do shit?
Come on, nigger boy! Come on, nigger boy! Show up, old man. I don't fuck you up. Show your ass up. I'll show you what a real
I'm gonna ass rape you just like in jail.
Show up,
This is what you're gonna get.
Don't talk,
This is what you're gonna get, Cyrax. This is what you're gonna get.
You're all barking, no bite, bitch. You're all fucking barking.
You're gonna get the Wigger special.
You ain't gonna do shit, Rick. Show up.
You're gonna get the Wigger special there, boy.
Show up, bitch. Show up, old man. I'll fuck your world up. You don't know me. Show up for my family in danger. Show the fuck up. I will fuck you up. So get off your old man ass and show up, boy. Show up.
I got him rattled now. Better watch it, Rick. I think
Oh my God, for a minute there, you almost scared me. You almost scared me. You were that close. You were that... What? I think you froze, motherfucker. You froze in fear, probably.
I think Sally shut off his internet again.
I think he might be changing form right now. Look at that. Look at this.
It's kind of fucked up when I got 2 more teeth than he does.
Hey, guys.
All right, I'm just gonna. Can I let Rick say one final word here, or are you done with him?
And if he's gonna be civil and not start shit, then. Well, Rick, you got anything you want to say to me before I hop off for the night? Because honestly,
you're not looking very civil. You're not looking very civil right now.
No, Cyrax, he's gonna have to hop up because we have unfinished business, Cyrax. So, like, you can finish with him, but then we still need to. We need to handle this Zoom situation.
Yeah, Rick, you're not looking civil. I'm sorry.
No, he did, Marty. He's got his glasses on. What do you mean? Come on.
Yeah, that's not really so.
Smile,
Come on.
But as I was saying, you know, Marty, just leave him backstage because you already know what I'm doing. You know, Kate, I do hope that I do hope that you do realize that I was genuine with what I said in hopes that we can move on from this. And
okay.
I do think
we're trying to.
Yeah, and like I said,
So can we pick up from where we left off, because this is important. So how many children have you sent your dick to?
Honestly,
just recently. You don't even have to go lifetime.
Well, Cyrax, that's, or at least what you thought.
Like I was saying though, Kate, like, regardless of the number or whatever, I do know now, I do realize that, what I've done was wrong, and I am going to be more careful in the future, and I do hope that we can...
When was the last time that you sent your dick to a child? I'm just curious. Like, how long has it been?
Literally, whenever you tricked me. Literally.
But
because you just went through 2 other instances after that.
Those were actually beforehand. Those were beforehand incidences. Well, the Chloe thing, I sent those to her beforehand, like days before, and then today she had... That was like days before.
I think the time right. Okay, so the timeline is that you sent your picture to kids before we need to finish that thought. I just want to get the time period right.
Those were actually beforehand. Those were literally.
How long has it been? The last time that you sent your dick to
in the future, and I do hope that we can...
When was the last time that you...
I am going to be more careful in the future, and I do hope that we can...